Hello folks, today we're going to be doing a fluid change in our front differential in this 99 Jeep Cherokee with a Dana 30 front end. Cat may be helping us a little bit, but we're going to use a couple quarts of synthetic 7590, a Dana 30 gasket by Lube Locker, and you just need a ratchet and a 13 mil socket and your drip pan, maybe a rag or two, and that's all we're gonna need. So let's get started. All right, folks. One more tool I forgot to mention is if the previous owner or yourself has done this already. If you did it already, you'd know what you're doing. But if a previous owner used RTV, you're going to need either a razor blade tool or something to scrape off the old RTV off of the flange on the housing and off your cover. So the first thing we're going to want to do is you have your drain plug right here, or your fill plug right here, and you want to get that loose first, because if you can't get that loose, that means you can't fill it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a 3/8 ratchet and make sure it's on reverse, and we're going to put it in there, and we're going to want to crack that open and make sure we can get it loose, which we can right there. And so we know that we'll be able to fill this once we get these off, get the cover off, get it back on, we're going to be able to fill it. You have 13 millimeter bolts around here. We're going to get all those off. We're going to break free this top one. We're not going to take that one all the way out, because to drain this, once all these bolts are out and we have this one loosened up, we're going to be able to pull this out a little bit. That's what's going to drain. So let's get that going here. Get all these loose and backed off. And what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to pause this, and so I don't put you through all this, and so it's too lengthy of a video. But I'm going to get all these out, and then I'm going to get this one backed out, but I'm going to keep it in there so this cannot fall into the drain pan. So I will be right back. All right, folks. So we got all of our bolts out. We also have our identification tag that sits right here that identifies what front axle you have if you have any questions. So we'll put that off to the side. I got a magnetic tray here, catch all the bolts and whatnot. So the next thing is, I left the top one in, but it's backed off, because when we knock this loose, we don't want it falling. We want to be able to pry this forward a little bit to drain. So I have a pretty big catch pan here. Hopefully, by knocking this back and forth with a hammer, a rubber hammer, dead blow, not a steel hammer, but worst case is sometimes you do have to take a screwdriver or a chisel and kind of tap up in there without marring anything. You don't want to mar anything, meaning, dig into the metal or anything like that, because then you're going to have potential leaks. So let's go ahead and see if we can knock this loose back and forth. And then I think what I want to do is I want to get my drain plug, or not my drain plug, sorry. I keep thinking of when I did the transfer case. You got a couple plugs in there. We're also doing a video on that. So I took my fill plug out and I do not see any fluid running out of there. Got just a little bit on my pinky just by sticking it down there. So I'm glad I'm doing this because this is low. So let's go ahead and see if we can knock this loose, which I'm hoping is the case. Probably too small of a hammer. On there pretty good. Don't want to dent it. So we may have to do the sucky part and get a screwdriver up in there somewhere without boogering this. I really don't want to do this. Don't want to dig too much. But let me work on this, folks, and oh, we're going up in there a little bit. I'm going to move my gasket. We're going to be using a gasket by Lube Locker versus using RTV. Come on, fella. Let me work on this, folks, and then I will tell you, I'll explain what worked the best. I'm going to get a bigger dead blow and try to go that route before I keep messing around with this. I don't like doing that, so I will be right back. All right, folks, so thank God I was able to get it with the bigger hammer. I did not use the metal end, I used the rubber end. And I just whacked back and forth on the solid parts of this so I wouldn't dent it. And then I started to see fluid drip out of the holes there. So thankfully that went well. So what we're gonna do, and I did have to crack it a little bit. I mean, I had to put down my purse and really give it some wax. So what we want to do now that we got this bolt still up in there so this does not fall, I'm going to really make sure that's in there. I don't want this falling in here and making a bigger mess. But we're going to pry this loose without marring it. It's really loose on this side. Sorry for the lighting. There we go. That is, I'm glad we're changing this. I mean, it doesn't look real horrible. It could use a change. Oh, I still have, like a moron, I still have a loose bolt right here. Glad I saw that. And then she'll come out. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Jeep. There we go. Look at that. Now she's draining. We're gonna let this drain for a little bit. I don't see a whole lot of RTV. So I'm thinking they use the gasket on this, which is good. Then I don't have a lot to clean up. If we did have RTV, well, once we get to this process, I'll explain. There still may be a little bit of RTV on this cover. So I'm gonna get this drained, and we are going to come back and I'll show you what we got. All right, folks, so we got the cover off and I got it cleaned out. I used a razor blade very carefully because you do not want to mar this up or anything. And then getting all the gasket stuff off there. I do have a soft pad on my angle grinder. That helps, but you don't want to get too crazy with it. What we're gonna do, so now I got this all cleaned off, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray brake clean in here and get this all off. We're gonna shine a light and inspect. The best way is if you can jack the Jeep up a little bit and you can turn your gears to inspect your gears, make sure everything is okay, and maybe check your backlash and whatnot. There's all sorts of videos out on that. This is just more of a helpful tutorial how to do this, and we're trying to keep it not so lengthy. So I'm going to shine a light in here, check everything out. I'm going to put a rag, once I get this clean, I'm going to put a rag over my gears and everything to keep all the junk out when I clean this flange up here. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. All right, folks, so where I'm at on this right now is I put a towel or a rag over this. I covered it really well, and then I was able to clean this off. I did use my whizzer wheel really lightly. It really helps, but again, go light. You can use a razor blade and maybe a soft Scotch-Brite. Just depends how messy and how sticky it is. So next we got this clean. I did spray brake clean in here. Clean is key. Brake clean, wipe it out, brake clean, wipe it out, brake clean, and so forth. We got our cover all clean and ready to go. We got our gasket out, and again, this is by Lube Locker. I'm not getting any kickbacks for this. On my rear end, I used RTV, and then I discovered this later, watching some videos on this. For this front axle, Dana 30 LLR-D030 is your part number for this. So we're going to position this correctly to the holes, and then we're going to put our bolts on, and then we're going to torque it down. I believe it's 30 foot-pounds. And then I'll get that done, and then we're gonna go ahead and fill it. If you're using RTV, and there's plenty of videos on there, you just want to, sorry for the lighting folks, but you want to put a bead and then go around your hole and then put a bead and just do that all the way around. Let it set up for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and then you want to lightly snug your bolts on. You don't want to torque it down. They say wait 24 hours before you torque it down, which makes sense. I've seen some videos where guys will put it on and let her run. You just want to do whatever you can do to prevent any leaks. So that is that if you use RTV. Again, I'm going to put the gasket on and put my bolts in, get them torqued down to 30 foot-pounds, and then we'll get her filled. And when we fill it, we're going to keep filling until we see it start to run down the outside of our cover. So I'm going to get this bolted on, and then we'll get it filled. So we got them torqued to 30 foot-pounds. If you did have an RTV mess, make sure you clean your bolts off and get all that old RTV off of there. Now we can go ahead and fill this up. And again, we're going to keep going until we see fluid running down, and then we know we're full. So that is that. I will come back when I have this full, and we'll put our plug back in, and we should be good to go. All right, folks. So we filled it up. Took pretty much a full 2 quarts. You really got to get it all in there. And we had fluid running out, so we stuck our plug back in. And remember your tag that fell off. If you still have a tag, get that back on there. That's going to have your information for you. And then when you torque these down, make sure you torque them down in a crisscross pattern. Again, get your RTV off of the bolts, out of the threads and everything. They'll go in a lot better. And yeah, so hopefully this video helped. Please leave your comments below, like, subscribe. We do these videos to help folks. We also try to include our email, and that way if you kind of have a detailed question, you can always email us as well. I'll try to leave a link to that lube locker gasket, and again, you can use RTV. It's totally up to you. But there you have it, folks. That's doing your fluid in your fluid change in your Dana 30 on this 99 XJ. So God bless America, and God bless the Republic. Take care.